Först visa här. Welcome to Alexander Technique 16, and I'll show that the head, when you bend in Surya Namaskar, can sort of point to whatever direction is, so you don't do this unnecessarily. You can do it, but better than to point with the head. So you start at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and so forth. 6 o'clock should be the final. You work, you do the same thing. Keep the freedom in the neck, widen, lengthen. So the direction you're pointing kilometers away. So do not think that you're pointing only 1 meter. Try 10 meters. And the more you learn how to point even further, you will be able to lengthen even better. So it's the belief that you can actually point much, much further than you normally can think. And I think that's deeply connected to classical physics, because we think it is very limited what we can do. But I would say there are no limits to the power of the mind. So extend that as far as you can. To bring Kalle Lundahl here, my faithful guinea pig and trier of the Alexander Technique. Welcome, Kalle.
Should I write them all perhaps?
Yeah, you can just stand shoulder width, a bit less, maybe 2 centimeters in with the left leg. Be perfect, yeah. Something like that. Yes, it's good. See if we can get you to sort of relax a bit here in the head. Not saying yes to stopping, saying no to going to it directly. And as I would put his hands on the chair now, reinforce the idea of stopping. Alexander had a very special term for that. He called it inhibition. Inhibit the reaction of doing something habitually. Being less deterministic, I could say. We're speaking so much about classical physics and quantum physics, so why not? We are bodily deterministic. Why? Well, we are sort of conditioned by different actions that are so automaticated that we don't have a choice. Something that has been looked into by neurologists and neuroscientists for quite some time now. So conditioned, and so as fast as whatever might come, we react. Good, you didn't react. But we habitually overreact, and it gives no possibility of directing, like giving directions. So what could happen in the end is that you get accustomed to put your head down, tuck your head in like this, down the spine, and that will cause uneven movement all over the body. So it starts here, in the pivotal point of your head. Here. So think of a smile behind your eyes. Practice the principle of happiness, joy, and humor. There is something deeply humoresque about quantum mechanics. I can recommend for everyone to read Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That will put a smile behind your eyes. So when you smile, when you feel happy, when you relax, all this is much easier. So 2 points, 2 takeaways here. Do not go into action preemptively. If I say do this, don't do it directly. Because in this waiting procedure, there is a chance for a free choice. See if we can take Kalle into the monkey, which is a very good practice for, I'd say, very good practice for recapturing freedom. Put your hand already here, do it differently this time, see if, yes. Discover some freedom here, the shoulder blades. Oh, very good. See here. Widen and lengthen us. Do this. Very good. Lengthen all the way through the spine and widen. And think kilometers in both directions. Deeply imagine space to be there around you. And I think the messages here coincide definitely with Wittgenstein. So flex your knees a bit, and I'll take you down into the monkey. Very good. Now the back is moving as one thing. Very good. You widen excellently. Well done. Continue to do that. Now you have the intention. And now you're looking forward. Try to see if you can point with your head so there is no, you keep the same angle as your back is. Do you understand what I mean? Mm. So your head will lead the back. First the head and then the back. And this is your head and this is the back. So instead of having the head like this, pointing forward, it goes in this direction. So you move it like this. This is a good training to see how this leads this. So the principle is rather easy. This is the back, this is the head. So this leads, points, 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 points. And what we find when we are in the monkey is a better widening and lengthening. It's the position of, I think, mechanical advantage. There is less risk of doing something completely wrong here or causing harm to yourself. It's easier to find the correct use of the joints or the better use of the joints. I think that's even more. It sounds better to say better use. We want these hip joints to be working like this, like, yes, very good. This is what I wanted to show. And up, 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 up. Widening, lengthening. Yes, very good. That's fantastic. You well managed, Kalle. You learn how to do it. Point with the fingers, even if you're going back. This is for the whole body. So even if you go back with your head, you will point up and forward. No matter what the direction of the head. You want to get up, even if you go down. Like this, I go down, I even go up still with my head. The only direction for the head is up. Muscles works by lengthening. There's no working of the shortening of the muscles. It's always lengthening. Direct project your fingers forwards in your head, have an intention that they go forward. Maybe 12 meters if you can get that. Actually, the longer you imagine, the harder it is to imagine that. You try to surpass the limits of fantasy or imagination. It's all down to imagination, what you can allow your consciousness to imagine. That is, as you understood now from classical physics, is just limitations. You are shut out of the world, you have no connection to your body even. You're in this little scaraby box. So I'd say already at the start you're at a disadvantage. So we want to counter this limitation, both with Wittgenstein and Alexander. Maybe they met. I think they were partially living at the same time. Wittgenstein, I think he passed away in 55. And I think Alexander 58 or something like that.
I thought 51.
Could be. I remember the date now, though. It's my birthday when he passed away. Prematurely, I'd say. That is Wittgenstein. I take away this object of molestation. So keep this wonderful widening and lengthening. It's particularly good today. Oddly, we're usually not this successful in this room, but this was really good. Keep that going. Think of pointing with your head in that way, and you can commence when you want, yourself. You decide, stop as long as you want to. We can stand here 5 minutes if you prefer. But when you establish the intention, you decide when to start. And I continue to play Marin Marin.
Surya Namaskar.
Yeah, you're pointing much better than ever before. This is very good color. So to bother you, it's looking extraordinarily good. Remember the humor, the smile, the easiness. Think about Hawaii, how a warm breeze sweeps in at the late evening, late afternoon, and you are enjoying yourself in the last bit of sunshine. Those are the ones, helpful feelings. And every thought is, you can use whatever thinking you want to as long as it helps you to relax. So if you prefer Siberia, do that. In this right position, I would especially stress how the head is lengthening the back, like this, yes. No need to move other thing than the head, yes. Think a direction like this. Very good, it's looking fantastic. Continue that. So you see here, a little training with the monkey do go a long way. It established a correct relationship between the head and the rest of the trunk and the body. Or a better coordination. Very hard to refrain from saying correct, did you notice that? It's sort of funny. Sorry. Very good. Nice, and an elongated back, widening over the shoulders so they can participate. And do remember the hip joint. It could be emphasized a little bit more. But the hip joint is here, so that is also, yes, much better that way. So think of the hip joint as a bending place where your body actually bends. Yeah, it's much better that way. Widening, widening. Great, great. That's fantastic. That's the way to go about. I hope I not end up in Alexander Hell because using the technique without being a certified teacher or anything of that sort. We can call this playing around with the concepts a bit.
Surya Namaskar.
Fantastic, very good, Kalle. So a little monkey goes a long way, if you like. What happened here? Your balance is improving. And especially when you're tired, put a little extra effort into intention. Because you get so much more tired if you sort of slouch or collapse. This is what we usually do. And I call that collapse in two. So if, for instance, I have the intention to go to the computer here, say, I have to go there. What will happen is I brace myself, I put the shoulders together and I sort of collapse into the situation without extending, like this. And uneasiness in the whole of the body system follows. Look at those shoulders. Look. The gaze. Then if you get stuck this, bring in the outside world, bring in what's around you, what's on top of you, and expand into what you want to do instead. Could look a little bit like this. I expand into where I want to go. I do not compress. I do not have to compress. So I widen, lengthening, and automatically I find my sitting bones. So now I'm much more relaxed, and I can keep both the intention on the screen or whatever I'm looking at, could be a book, and what's behind me. And of course, do not fall into this trap to think this is uninteresting. It is by thinking this is only the interesting thing. If I focus on that, this is when we do the classical mood. Then we become this brain in a vat, or the idea of the private language. Bring this in, and don't say, oh, it's absolutely uninteresting. And you can train that by keeping order wherever you sit. I wasn't the best example, but bring some order into your life. Why? It helps you to be present in your reality, so that you don't overemphasize sharp distinctions. Interesting, not interesting. In that case, you lose on both. And I think today the schooling system is suffering from over-specialization. And that is the death of both the general and the particular. We talked about before. See if we can take Kali into the monkey once more, if he's willing. How do you feel after the exercise now? It eased up the tensions a bit, didn't it?
Yes.
Well, you look much more happy now. So, enjoyment in life goes with this opening and widening. And the freedom of the head and neck relationship is the most important. This is where it all starts. Up, up, up. Even if you go down, it's up. Lengthening here and widening. You can even feel the widening, can't you, Kalle? You're wider, there is more space, and I can sort of echo out the space that's behind you. Hello, echo. Up, also above you. Think of something flapping their wings up there. It could be a congress of crows, congregation of crows. I don't know those animals' words. So if you please, could you flex your knees? Yes, very good. Keep that up. Yeah, you're keeping the up. Very good. You're still up. And I emphasize a little bend here. And now the whole back comes. You do no longer bend in your waist as you used to. It's less of that. That's progress. And it's important to note one's progress. Why? Obviously for the motivation. Why do I do it? Well, there is progress. Things are getting better. Feel the direction going forward, even if we go back. I use the hand as an example of that. Very good. Looks very good. Keep on that work. By doing this monkey on a regular basis, it will help avoid back problems later on. Otherwise, they could develop by time. The back is a very sturdy part of the body, but it will suffer in the long end. And big smile here. Yeah, very good. Widen, widen. Think of a direction forward with your knees as well. So going this way, and the toes also in that direction, if you get my drift. So they will follow by that. Very good. Looks very good. I'm very happy with this. So even though it's absolutely boring to do the monkey, it takes just a while. And if you have a chair or something in front of you, what you learn is by iteration, by repeating iteration. For every time you do it, the joint becomes more real. You have to put into the equation there's been 30, 40 years of misuse. So you can't even feel the joint at the start. Re-education, you can call this. So there is constantly a possibility of re-education of our habits. For you who have been in the series, you can remember James Clear with the 1% rule. This holds true here also. So a little training with small things, this is exactly what is needed. Nothing else, nothing more. As simple as that. Yeah, very good. Just excellent. You can go up out of the monkey, you can leave your hands where they are on the chair. So you can still keep the hands there and you go up. Very good. Up, up. A lot of freedom, and you hear the voice getting stronger as freedom is more and more accessible. Very good. Nodding. So, absolutely fantastic. I will liberate your hands from the position. Forwards with the fingers, the directionality is still forward. You bring in the shoulder, things. Here is where your arm starts. You can relax it here, like that. Very good. Very good, Kalle. And forwards with the fingers. Keep that intention in your head. Make it stronger for every time you do it. Iteration. Kanya. Dame una caña. Una caña, por favor. Muy bien. Muchas gracias. I say thank you very much, Kalle Lundahl, for your excellent improvement. Incremental improvement every day. This is what it is about. Not a big classical physical mood stepping from incorrect to correct. No, there is no such things. It's small improvements every day. And I'll say you won't notice 1/10 of those improvements, but this is an obvious example. They are there. The miracle of the everyday.
Alexander technique number 16 on November 23rd, 2023.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now, everyone.